Hello YouTube! It has been a while since we last talked, but today I am very excited to be sharing all things boobies. I recently got my breast implants removed and I'm 2 days post-op, and I am excited to share with you what my experience has been like. I have Q&A that we will be going over for lots of questions that I had asked for you to give me over on my Instagram, and here we go. When did you get your boobs done? I got my boobs done in November of 2016, so before I took the girls out, they were 6 years old. What was the reason? A few different reasoning factors behind why I think I got my boobs done. The biggest one though being I was trying to live up to a beauty standard of what I felt like was going to make me feel like I finally was complete. I was chasing some form of perfection. I was just never feeling like I was enough. I was looking to be seen. I was looking to have a sense of being really feminine finally, and no longer having this small chest that to me meant whatever story I held on to with it. Yeah, it was a lot of pressure into the space of living into a beauty standard for why, and a lot of insecurity. And the other reasoning for why I think I really wanted to go forward with this was I had just got into my career of bodybuilding and competing, and every competitor in the bikini division I felt like had their boobs done to give them a more proportional look. They say that you have more of an X frame whenever you have your chest more filled out along with the rest of your body for symmetry. Granted, I went very big and I went a little bit over the symmetry of what was necessary, but that was kind of another factor of what I was looking to achieve with getting them done, and it never was achieved. It never made me feel like I was more feminine. It never made me feel like I finally filled the void. It was actually just even more of disconnect from my being, which I'll go into more detail, but yeah, I didn't fulfill the purpose behind why I actually got them done, even though I thought for a temporary amount of time that it may have. What was your size before and after? I went very big and I've been nervous to even share the size of how big I went with my implants because of not wanting to influence in a way of what would maybe make somebody else think that my frame is going to match what theirs is. Either way, I went really big. My size went from bra size from 32B, mostly an A, like I could sometimes wear a B if it was a small B, and I went to a 32 triple D. Huge. Yeah, quite the adjustment. The actual implant size was 650 cc. So those of you who are familiar with the sizes of implants, the average size that a woman gets, and it's all dependent on how big of a frame she has and really her chest cavity, but the average size, just to give frame of reference, is anywhere from 350 to 400. And I'm a petite woman to begin with. I'm 5'4". When I got them done, I was about like 115 pounds. I really went big. I had pressure a little around going bigger because I went to a place that was a lot of women who encourage that. The before and afters that I saw, part of my reasoning for going to the place that I did was because I saw that they were willing to go big, and I knew that I wanted to go big. So it's not the fault of the place that I went as much as just like I knew what I was going there for. I thought I was going to get about like 150 to 200 cc's less than that, and I walked out really big. This is not something that I am in any way promoting to do. My body definitely took a beating from the size, to say the least. What type of implant did you get? I got silicone implants. They were smooth. The different kinds you can get are silicone or saline. You used to be able to get textured implants or smooth. They've recalled the texture implants because they had traces of them being connected to different types of cancers and just really bad for your body. So mine luckily were not recalled, and they were under the muscle. Why did you want an explant? I wanted an explant because the size of my implants were absolutely too big for my frame. The more that I have done inner work to connect to who I am and how I really want to be leading my life, I realized that I was compromising what felt like my functionality to be able to move and be athletic and be able to just really represent this essence of freedom for attention of having a big chest. And the more inner work that I did, it's like one of those things where you can't unsee it. Like I couldn't unsee the fact that I was wearing a mask with my implants, and I just knew it was time to release myself from this. I knew that the way that I was growing, this was not going to come into the next chapter of my life. So it was just like I had to do this. I was ready to do this. I'm so happy that I did. I'm so happy. Like 2 days post-op and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I did that for 6 years. Anyways, did you have any complications like BII or capsular contraction? No, BII is breast implant illness, and that is a very common thing that women are experiencing who have implants. There is not completely approved information around it, but things are really showing that breast implants are linked to a lot of illnesses, and I personally believe that it is a real thing. And I also personally believe that I was not experiencing symptoms of it. The symptoms can be semi-vague and to some extent of having like brain fog or experiencing more like lethargic, feeling like you have rashes on your skin. Like there is so many symptoms that are linked to breast implant illness, and I've had many friends who have went through this and have had their breast implants removed because they really believed that it was linked to that. All of their symptoms have went away, so I believe it's real, but I don't personally believe that I have been experiencing any of the symptoms. I just had really big implants, and I have never had anything with my capsule wrong, capsular contraction or anything that shown in my implant. There was no bumps, no hardening, no pain other than my neck pain and my back pain. Did you have your capsules removed? This ties back to what I was just stating about how I personally was not experiencing any complications. So having your capsule, first off, your capsule is the scar tissue that forms around the implant. It's your body's natural protection of this foreign object, which is amazing that your body can do this, but it's your natural protection of this implant. When women have experienced issues with their implants, they believe it is really important to have the capsules removed because of the toxins that can potentially seep out into the capsule, or the hardening of the capsule through capsular contraction. If you leave that inside of you and it's hard and it doesn't kind of allow it to go back into your body the way that it should, it can create further complications, or it won't fully alleviate the symptoms if you're experiencing symptoms. But because I truly believe that I was not experiencing symptoms, and I went to multiple consultations, had imaging done, really looked at all of the things that were a potential risk of keeping the capsule in versus not, I made choice for myself that I believe is best of keeping the capsules and only removing the implant, because I didn't want as invasive of a surgery where you have to go in and carve out the capsule, and also having to go into general anesthesia, and it felt like a lot more trauma to my body than what I knew to my core, my intuition, to say that I just needed to get the implants out because they were too big. My opinion is to have multiple consultations, really ask yourself what you believe is going on in your body, what you feel, and I don't want to advocate one way or the other. I don't believe you should just get them removed because it's the easier way and not have your capsules removed because you're afraid of going under. If that's what's necessary, that's what should happen. I did what I believed was best for my body, and I didn't have the capsules removed. I just had my implants removed under local anesthesia. And what was surgery like? Surgery, like I said, was under local anesthesia, which I know it might sound crazy because you are getting cut open, but it was very chill. So 2 days before my surgery, I had a pre-op appointment. I went in, they did even more in-depth imaging to see how my capsules were looking. Everything was intact. If you have a ruptured capsule or anything that looks off, then they can't do it through local anesthesia, and it's important to take out your capsule too. It is August 31st, 2022, and it is the last night that I will go to sleep with breast implants. My surgery is at 8:30 in the morning, and I am feeling a little nervous. Starting to count down the hours before surgery. It's starting to hit me a little bit more that this is happening. Nervousness, fear, tingliness, like all of that is so real for me right now. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to be lighter, physically, mentally, ready to close this chapter and all the lessons that it has brought me, because I'm ready to be back home to myself in my natural body. All right, I'm going to bed. Hopefully I can get some sleep. Go to sleep, go to sleep. Go to sleep, big old boobies, because in the morning you'll be cut and smaller than you realize. Good night from me and the twins on our last night. It has been a 6-year journey together. Good night, girls. Tomorrow we part ways. And on the morning of my surgery, good morning. I did not really sleep last night at all. Feeling a lot of things. It is surgery day. I have this outfit on before I go. It's really easy just to tie this in the back. Bag packed for surgery day. Now I'm about to take some medicine. I have an anxiety medication, a painkiller, and some allergy meds, so I'm about to be real loopy. I was able to eat breakfast. It was encouraged for me to eat breakfast, and then I went into the office and I had a local anesthesia shot that was put into the scar and just a few shots around my breast. And once my entire torso, everything was completely numb, but I was also pretty loopy and out of it. I was in what was considered a twilight anesthesia. Everything was numb. Once they cleared that, I had a nurse that really comforting on my side, one that was up towards my head, just really allowing me to feel calm. And I was not aware of anything that was happening. I couldn't feel the incision as they were cutting. All you have to cut through for this type of procedure is the skin and the fat, so you don't actually cut through the muscle again, and luckily it doesn't have to be recut. It just is actually a fold right underneath of there where the implant can be moved out and then stitched back up. So it was under an hour. The only thing that I could feel was the pressure when they had the incision open. I could feel the pressure of, as they were pulling that out and pushing on my chest very mildly, which I was very surprised because my implants were huge. I felt just a little bit of pressure. It felt like I was kind of birthing this implant. Once they had the pressure, it just felt like kind of a release of that, and that was it. It was really easy. The procedure, I was blown away by how easy it was. What was the cost? The cost was $3,200. It ranges a lot when you're having your breast implants removed, from $2,000 to like $20,000. I only had them removed. I didn't have a lift. I didn't have fat grafting done. I didn't have any of the bells and whistles of other stuff added to it. I didn't have the capsule or en bloc or general anesthesia, so mine was on the lower end for that reason. The more things that you add to it, it does increase your price. Again, it has nothing to do with price for why it is that I decided to go with the option that I did. It just was the thing that I was needing because I wasn't having other complications. Did you need drains? No. So that is another awesome thing about the side of being able to do it through local anesthesia, is because of the way the procedure is done, the reason that you have to have drains, which you might still need drains if you do it through local anesthesia, but it's less likely because when you're removing the capsule, there is more inflammation and there is more that is like kind of being built up, and the drains help to remove any fluid that could be built through that, which is still a possibility of a thing called seroma, that is a fluid that can fill into your capsules or in your breast in general even after you have the drains removed. That's why it's important to wear a compression bra, because what will happen is the fluid will try to implicate what the breast implant was and fill up, and then you'll have to have it removed. Luckily, I didn't have to have the drains for the way that I went about my procedure, and everything was fine. I just have to have the compression to keep from fluid filling. But usually if you have your breast implants removed through general anesthesia in the capsules, you will have drains to release the fluid out, and they get removed, I believe, about a week after you have your procedure done. Who did you get them removed by? So I went to Dr. Ann Taylor in Worthington, Ohio. What does recovery look like? Is it worse than getting a breast augmentation? No, not at all. Recovery has been a breeze, and nothing at all like a breast augmentation. When I had my breasts, granted, mine were very large, but I felt like I couldn't breathe. There was an elephant on my chest. Everything was like trying to lift my arms up, do anything. I felt very out of it. I didn't even take the Tylenol that I was prescribed to potentially have after. I took no medication after this. All I have really had complications with recovery have been the incisions that are underneath where I have the bandaging in my bra on. They are a little bit tender, so I've been just feeling the tenderness of the incision, which is not painful at all. I would say it's a 3 out of 10. That has been my only mild thing, and I can't sleep completely flat. I have to be elevated, and I have to sleep on my back, which is hard for me, which both of those things you have to do either way if you have a breast augmentation or removal. I have just not gotten the best sleep, but nothing at all compared to how the recovery of a breast augmentation is. It's way easier. But this is where I'm going to be nesting for the next couple of days. I got out the pregnancy pillow that I gifted my sister, and it's coming full circle because I am a belly sleeper. To have the arms, I want to be able to be elevated so that I'm not lying flat. So I got this thing on Amazon. You can take it and you can actually adjust it to be higher, and it'll set itself up more, or you can lay it down flat with however you want to lay, but it creates some elevation, and then also elevating underneath of my knees, and just having my feet up so that helping blood flow. Nightgown, that's a button up that I'll be wearing. Some cozy socks. These are my front buttoned bras. And then I just got some random things in here. A book I haven't started yet. My Switch. Some lottery tickets. And some things to make bracelets. My journal. My laptop, which I have my outlet. There's a TV, and yeah, little girl's room, unicorns, and it's going to be my nest. I have a 1 week post-op appointment. I will go in, she will look over everything. I will get the tape that is off around the incisions, and then I won't really be able to do anything. I can go for a walk about 5 miles per hour. I'm on bed rest until then. And around the 3 week mark, I can do, I believe, lower body, potentially, just depending on how my recovery is going. I can't do anything with my upper body, moving my chest. I have to just be very careful and keep my chest very tightly wrapped, which I'll probably have to keep my chest wrapped even longer than the average person that gets their implants removed because of how big my implants were and my skin just needing to contract back to that tissue. Where is your scar, and will it be big / noticeable? My scar, I'm not going to show you my boobs, but my scar is underneath of the fold, and that is where I got it done for my breast augmentation. They just went over the same exact scar, and I got to see it. I can see it through the tape that is over. The scars look already, the incisions look very thin, which I'm happy to see. They might be a little big, pronounced for a while. She did have to recut them, but they're right on top of the same scars that I had for my breast augmentation. the same size, everything. I don't scar very intensely. My scars got extremely light. You couldn't really even see them from my last breast surgery, so I don't know what they're going to look like just quite yet. I don't think they're going to be super noticeable, other than the fact that now my boobs won't be laying on top of them, probably, because they're going to be quite a bit smaller. They will maybe be able to be seen underwear with my breast dog. They kind of folded and you couldn't see the scar from there. I don't know, everyone's different. Are your boobs going to be saggy or asymmetrical now? I got to see my boobs yesterday for the first time, my real boobs, after I took a shower, and I got to take my bandaging off, and I was so pleased with how they look like already. I really thought that they were going to be just so sad, and I was very, very pleased with how they were still in really good shape. Time to reveal. I was really happy. Like, they are like flatter up top and down a little bit more, but I had expected them to be non-existent. Like, the amount of breast tissue that I still have, I was very pleased with. My doctor believes that even without having a lift, because of how young I am, my skin should really still go back to almost how it was before, maybe just a little bit more of loose skin from it being slightly stretched. But I'm active, I'm young, I'm healthy. She's thinking that it won't be saggy, and because I wasn't really asymmetrical before, my boobs should go back kind of the way that they were. But I guess there's always a chance, because of breast tissue potentially being smashed, that maybe something could be different there. All right, my camera died. We are back. Is your boyfriend sad that you got rid of your boobs? How does he feel? As much as it's my body, nobody has a say in the things that I'm going to do to my body. I will make all the decisions for myself. I would be lying if I said I didn't take consideration into thinking of how do I think he may be attracted to me after I do remove my boobs, because it is a pretty big physical change. Not that I wasn't going to do it because it was hindering my life, but just the consideration of me thinking, I wonder what he does think of this. And he is very happy with my decision in doing this. He wants me to have my ability to function, to thrive, to be able to play games, to just be my most expressed self. He's really encouraged me into that space, which has been just such a beautiful gift that I am so, so grateful for. He's happy with the fact that I am doing what is best for me, and he loves me so much more than just my physical appearance. One of those things where he started dating me when I looked a lot different than how I do now, and I didn't give him enough credit for the fact that these things shouldn't matter. It's about who I am, but it still is just one of those things that it is in the back of your mind where it's like, well, are they still going to be attracted to me? Which it's like so superficial, but yeah, it happens, and he is very happy, and so am I. You're on camera.
Stop.
What do you want to say to the vlog? What do you think about the night before me with my big boobies?
I think you're leaning into the most high version of yourself, and I'm excited for you.
Aw, thanks,
I'm looking forward to continuing to be a witness to your journey and how you continue to show up for yourself and love yourself.
I love you.
Love you.
How are you feeling post-surgery? Were your expectations met? Yes, my expectations were exceeded. I got to see my boobs and I was in love with them, and the procedure of everything went amazing. I'm 2 days post-op and I'm just feeling how I am, and it's only going to get better from here, and I am just so grateful that I decided to do this for myself. No matter how physically I was going to look, just having the quality of my life back was the expectation that I wanted, and I have that, and I feel my lightness again, and I feel my empowering sense of just showing up as me and being able to say this is enough finally. And it was never going to be found in something that was a foreign object that I was placing in to fit a norm. Expectations were met, I'm feeling so amazing. I'm feeling better than I even knew was possible. Like the feeling of doing something that modifies your body and then being able to say, this doesn't align for me, and reversing it, even if it takes having surgery because you want to be true to who you are, is a sense of empowerment that is like no other. So I feel wonderful and I'm really, really happy with my decision. Alright, that is going to conclude today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions at all, please drop them in the comments below and I will be sure to get back to you. Or if you have any shared experience of something with maybe your thoughts about potentially getting breast implants, or if you are thinking about getting them out, or if you've had your explant, please drop it down below. I'm sure people will really love to hear other experiences, because I know whenever I was looking to have my boobs done and removed, I went all over YouTube looking at what everybody had to say about it and looking through all the comments, and it really is just important to use your voice and to be able to share what it is that you have to say, because everything that you have to say is powerful, no matter how big or small that it is. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.